it's me, Julie, trying a different setup here. I had to block my window with some vintage tablecloths, which I thought were appropriate, but I'm still getting a little shadow here. I'm gonna have to come up with a light over here, but I do like this seat better for reading my Throwback Thursday recipe. By the way, this is where I practice my flute, piccolo, and alto flute on this chair. It's all my music, and I've got my cute little Pampered Chef retro shells. And the recipe this week is out of a book I picked up at a garage sale. The Purefoy, I don't know how to pronounce this, Hotel Cookbook, new edition, true and tried recipes of real Southern cooking. I need to adjust that a little bit next time, I think. I think I will adjust a little bit. I'll get this down sooner or later. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so the Purefoy Hotel Cookbook I did pick up at a garage sale or secondhand store. I'm fairly sure it was a garage sale that Irene and I went on with together. And this cookbook is by Eva B. Purefoy and Louise P. McClung. The original copyright date is 1941. And it has several revisions. This revision being 1960. Yes, 1960 is vintage. Ugh. I'm vintage. The front of this book says, to Margaret from Jerry and Ruth, 8/6/1964. And Margaret penciled in some of her favorite recipes in the front page right here. 2 crab recipes and an oyster recipe and the page number. And as I looked through this book for a recipe to read to you tonight, I decided to read one of hers. But this is one of those recipe books. It has a lot of sweet stuff in it. I mean, Southern cooking, it's a lot of sweet stuff. So it's another, oh, there's some handwriting right there. She changed teaspoons of garlic powder to a dash of garlic powder on tuna chow mein casserole. Apparently she doesn't like garlic powder because she really scribbled that one out. The back of this book has all sorts of tips and tricks, stain removal charts. I mean, this is another book like my grandmother's book that's a treasure trove of content. And I had marked one of the tips here, and it cracked me up. I don't know. You have to tell me what this makes you think of. So this is under household tips, personal. I think there's a tips for the housewife. Let me see if I remember right. It's several pages back. I think it's tips for the housewife, though. It says personal, to keep nail polish intact. Rika, if you're out there, this is how you keep that Color Street nail polish intact. Keep a pencil tied to the telephone to use when dialing. Now, I remember a dial telephone. Do you remember a dial telephone? It made me think of, Lily Tomlin on Saturday Night Live going, 1 ringy-dingy, 2 ringy-dingies. Is this the person whomever I've called or ever how she said that? I don't know. I just have this picture of this woman in a dress, Lily Tomlin, when I read that. So let's go to one of Margaret's favorite recipes. And she says, this is crab on 51. So here's 51. I did have it marked, and I did read it over to see what was on it. And she even has a little check mark by it. So let's read our recipe. This is Crab Supreme. Remember, Margaret must have cooked this often because she checked it. 2 cups of hot diced potatoes, 2 cups of flaked crab meat, a dash of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 eggs slightly beaten, and 1/2 cup of whipping cream. One of these things is not like the others, but this is a Southern cookbook, so let's read on. Okay. Combine the diced potatoes, crab meat, salt and pepper. Fold in the beaten eggs. Period. So fold in the beaten eggs. Folding is just lightly turning and mixing. I think most of you probably know what folding is. I'll put a definition of folding with, when I post this recipe, what folding is. Whip the cream until stiff and fold in carefully. So now we've got, let's see, we've got crab meat, potatoes, and whipped cream, and eggs. Doesn't say sugar, so at this point, we're still good. Pile in a greased casserole and bake in a hot oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, until golden brown. And I noticed these older recipes don't give you a time. They just tell you hot oven, and we'll cover that on another visit. But I was thinking about this, and I want to know, A, is it good? Is it the bad? Or is it the ugly? Is it good? Should we keep it and try it? Is it the bad? Ick? Or is it the ugly? Let's send that back to 1960 because it's awful. Anyway, make sure you comment underneath. One of the things I was thinking, though, when I did it, I bet Margaret wishes she had my Pampered Chef whipped cream maker. This is a nice little thing. It's only half a cup, so it definitely holds enough. And in 30 seconds, just like this, she could have had her whipped cream in stiff peaks. Gross. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this recipe tonight. I try to keep them a little short so you can watch them on the fly. And I will post this recipe next week on my page and in my VIP group, and have a new recipe to read. Please tell your friends, hit subscribe. I think it's there. I think the subscribe button's there. I'll have to look at the recording and see if I got the right spot. And you all have a wonderful evening.